Peter Fink, I want to give a little bit about you in case there's anybody that hasn't seen your yellow and black 14 certified transmission locations in the Midwest. And you have a very interesting story. Where'd you go to high school, by the way?
I went to Creighton Prep here in town.
Okay.
I'm born and raised here in Omaha. So
excellent. So Peter started certified transmission back in 1979 at the young age of 19. He had his tools, $1,000 worth, a two-bay gas station, and a strong determination. Peter always had a vision for certified transmission to be larger than just your normal repair shop. He set out opening more locations and eventually added centralized rebuilding facility. Over the last 40-plus years now, Peter has grown his company to the largest remanufacturer in the Midwest and now employs over 400 team members. Peter and his wife, Carolyn, which is the same name as my mom, since 1986 have 3 children, Amanda, Peter Jr., and Alex. They all work with him, but they didn't get in the business without working hard, and we'll talk about that. Peter enjoys spending time with his family, snowmobiling, going to concerts, and attending sporting events. And Peter, I've got to know you over the last several times looking at my properties and also through your fundraising efforts. For those that don't know, Peter has about 140 muscle cars, all American, all impeccable condition, all very unique. And you use you call it addiction probably, and
yes,
and infatuation of muscle cars, not only for your own gratification, but you also use it as a vehicle. See how I did that? Vehicle to allow charitable organizations to raise millions of dollars. And tell me about that.
Well, first of all, I'm going to say I don't think there's a secret in Omaha you don't know about. Okay,
Yeah.
For sure when it comes to restaurants and what's going on and growing. So that's awesome. Obviously, you've learned a little bit about me too. But back to the I've got a car museum, like
American Muscle Car Museum.
American muscle cars, no foreign cars, no Ferraris, okay, no Lamborghinis. Not that they're not great cars. I've just always collected American muscle cars, late 60s, early 70s, and all the new American muscle cars. With that, I had a smaller museum, and I outgrown that, and so when I had about 60 cars, the old place held about 30, and we hosted fundraiser events for charities and raised like you said, several $1 million, okay, over the years. I had too many cars, and I told the wife, I either got to start selling a bunch of cars or I got to find a bigger place. So we found a bigger place. And
77,000 square feet worth.
Just a little man cave, okay. So we've got all the cars in there. We opened it last spring, basically, and have been hosting charity events there. And I'm proud to say it's been very, very successful in raising money for all the different charities and stuff out there. I kind of joke about it. I collect cars. Women collect shoes, okay. It's kind of fair, ain't it?
Yeah.
And
these are really expensive shoes.
Yep.
But these cars have soul too, so we're good there.
There you go.
This guy has about 200 trickle chargers, if you know what those are, to keep the batteries going, and not just on his cars, but his boats and everything else. You also have amazing rock and roll pinball machine, classic pinball machines, and other fun artifacts that you collect, rock and roll posters, guitars, other things. So I highly recommend, if you ever see at the American Muscle Car Museum your favorite charity or not so favorite charity, pay the price, get the tax deduction, and go see Peter's car collection.
Thank you. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm pretty proud of it. And as you said, it isn't just all about cars, rock and roll. I love rock and roll. That's what I grew up with. And we've got an amazing signed guitar collection there. And I've also, like you said, collect the pinball machines, anything to do with rock and roll, okay? Not that I'm into pinballs.
You got like Aerosmith, Stones. What are the other ones?
There's Led Zeppelin, the Beatles, okay, Elvis Presley, okay, that kind of started it and everything. So, yeah, we've got a lot of unique AC/DC, okay, so there's still a couple more on my hit list, okay, just like cars, a couple more on my hit list that I got to get.
Well, it's the thing that I learned about you is you've got a deep passion, not just for transmissions in your business and the city of Omaha and everything, but what I like is how you invest in other people's lives and how you've got some strict policies and you yourself obviously have a huge positive work ethic, but tell me what's unique about the certified transmission corporate culture.
Well, when I started, of course, that's not how it was, okay? I mean, first it was to repair cars and make some money or whatever. But as we continue to grow, definitely seeing investing in people, okay? As far as I'm concerned, that's the number one thing. People are what make it, and that's what makes Omaha so great. We got such fantastic people in every walks of life, okay, and stuff. I wouldn't think about going anywhere else. When I think about expanding another plant and stuff, people all the time say, well, why don't you go to Kansas City or something? And no, I love Omaha. I'm an Omaha born and raised, and my family's here, and it's all about people. When we hire somebody on, we don't hire experienced techs necessarily. Not that we don't, okay, but a lot of people, for us to grow, we have our own trainers. So we come in and invest heavily into people, okay? Truthfully, I do a lot of the interviews myself because I'm going to invest $50,000 in training in that guy, okay, or gal, okay, to become successful if they're going to be a technician working at either the retail store or the manufacturing plant, okay, and stuff. So I believe in helping people, get involved with Teen Challenge and a number of other organizations around town, and I believe in giving people a second chance. But they gotta help themselves too. We want to help them,
but they only get a second chance.
They only get a second chance.
Can you
if they fall
talk
off
about
the wagon.
the 90-day probationary period?
Well, we're pretty strict, okay, and we got attendance is really important. If I'm going to invest in you, I need you there, okay, and stuff. All right.
But you know it up front. You set the ground rules up front, so it's not they didn't know.
Yes, that's the biggest thing we talk about. As an example, if in the first 90 days, start time's 8 o'clock, 8:01 is considered tardy. If you have 4 tardies with us, you're out the door. We don't care what the reason is. There is no slippery slope. I don't care if you overslept, the alarm didn't go off, car didn't start, dog ate your shoe. It doesn't matter. On number 4, you're out the door, okay, and stuff, And there's other very strict attendance policies. We need people there. People depend on us, okay? People's cars are broken, and if you think about it, oh my gosh, when your car goes down, I mean, that took your freedom. I mean, I don't see too many of us getting on public transportation, okay, around here in Omaha, okay? That's a whole different subject, okay, or whatever. But regardless, I mean, our car is our freedom to let us do all the things, go to work, take care of our families, go do fun things, all that stuff. So, and when a transmission goes down, that's not like an oil change that you're going to get done in 30 minutes or less.
Right, exactly. So your 3 children work with you at Certified Transmission. They all had work and jobs and training in other industries and outside of Certified Transmission. What was the barriers to entry for your children?
Well, I tried to discourage them to coming into the business. Again, I told them, and it was my business, what I enjoyed to do. I tell people all the time, and the people that come work for me, you got to go after your passion. You got to like what you do. If you don't, go find it, and you'll become good at it, okay? And so I told the same thing with my kids. Of course, they were there when they were 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, okay, and stuff, but that doesn't count. When they went to college, they wanted to come work for me when they got out, and no, they had to go work somewhere else for 3 years minimum before they could even be considered to be brought in. And then if they did come in and wanted to, I totally encouraged them not to. Okay, they all said, Dad, this is what we want to do. We want to go grow the business with you.
They took a pay cut to come, right?
Oh, a huge pay cut. Okay, all 3 of my kids took a pay cut, huge, to come work for me, and they had to start at the bottom, okay, and they had to earn the positions that they're in, not given the positions, because, again, people depend on it, okay, and I'm not going to hand them something and say, well, they're my kids, to take care of them. No, they had to prove that they could do it. They had to get educated, trained, work up from the bottom, and gain that respect with the other people.
Yeah, are you adopting right now or no?
Probably most people wouldn't like me.
Okay, good point.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.